Hit me with it one time, Tide fans. What day is it, baby? What day is it? Whoop, whoop. Hump day. It is Wednesday. It is definitely Wednesday, and you are locked and loaded on the hottest show in the streets, best form of Alabama football news, notes, and information. I'm yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. This is, in my own words, the podcast. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to drop that thumbs up, that like on the show, and subscribe. That tells us here at TDA, got to continue pumping you the best in coverage and content on your Alabama football program. The network here on YouTube, over 8,000, that's right. Over 8,000 subscribers strong, thanks to you, the fans. So we appreciate you continuing to help us grow the channel and the network. Got a jam-packed show for you today. We'll start things off with going through some updates here in terms of Alabama football and across the Alabama athletics landscape. From there, we dive into more information on Tide football, but in particular, which position group has you the most excited for spring ball in the 2020 season? Which position group has you the most concerned? And which one could be the biggest surprise? From there, we jump into my NFL mock draft 1.0. That's right, Steven's mock draft 1.0. How many first rounders do I see the Crimson Tide getting in the 2020 venue come April? We'll talk about that. And we'll tidy up some loose ends by discussing how will Nick Saban go about keeping his marquee, top-tier, talented assistant coaches for more than 1 to 2 years. All of this and more coming up on the other side. Don't touch that dial, folks. This is in my own words.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
Back into the action on the hottest show in the streets as we dive into some updates involving the Crimson Tide. First and foremost, the football program, big news coming out of the transfer portal. Alabama landing a huge get at tight end, a position of need, as Carl Tucker, a native of North Carolina, attended the University of North Carolina, decided to give a verbal commitment to Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. He did this on Wednesday via his Twitter account. Now, Tucker visited the University of Alabama on last week, really enjoyed his visit, had a great time, so he decided to keep Alabama football in mind. And what this does is it presents Nick Saban and the program with another experienced, explosive target at that position, despite the fact that Alabama returns Miller Forrestall, Major Tennyson, Jaleel Billingsley, and of course, one Cameron Latou. When you look at Carl Tucker, the former three-star at 6'2", 248 pounds, and his 4 years playing for the Tar Heels, 36 catches, 549 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. I mentioned along with his ability to flex out wide, catching passes, running routes, and also being effective on the inline at the tight end position, he is a very good run blocker as well. Set the edge for 8 500-yard rushers during his time as a Tar Heel, including one 1,000-yard performance from one Michael Carter in 2019. Carter 1,003 yards rushing. So big get there for the Crimson Tide, landing one Carl Tucker. From there, Alabama getting the number one class, the number one signing class for the 2020 recruiting cycle. It stands at number one right now. Now, National Signing Day is scheduled for Wednesday, February 5th, a day in which Crimson Tide fans very much so energetic, excited, passionate, waiting to see get here. Alabama with 13 early enrollees from its 2020 class already on campus as we speak, but this fan base in the program excited for National Signing Day as of right now. Crimson Tide has leapfrogged the Clemson Tigers to have the number one class. There is an awesome commercial going on right now, folks. If you haven't checked it out, you need to, as it features one, Josh Jacobs, former Crimson Tide running back, native of Tulsa, Oklahoma, former 3-star in the 2016 class. He was selected with the number 24th overall pick in the first round of the 2020 draft by the Oakland Raiders, now known as the Las Vegas Raiders. But Josh Jacobs, in this commercial for Kia for the Super Bowl, he is driving the all-new Kia Seltos AWD SUV. And as he's driving around his hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma, he sees his younger self running in the streets. He is in the car with his younger self, just talking about how life is tough. Life will be tough growing up homeless, but you're going to be able, or you have to be able to be tough, push through, battle through, and make something of yourself. And Josh Jacobs partnering with Kia for its Yards Against Homelessness campaign and trying to raise money and raise awareness to stop or to limit the amount of homeless children in America. So big deal there for Josh Jacobs. This young man's dreams continuing to come true. More blessings coming his way as he has become a partner with Kia. From there, we dive into Alabama men's basketball. Right now, the basketball program took on the LSU Tigers, the 22nd ranked LSU Tigers, on this evening at the Pete Maravich Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Alabama taking a tough loss there, but this is still a good year for Nate Oates. Still a good year for Nate Oates and Alabama men's basketball. If this team can get a win against Arkansas this week, it is still in line to make the NCAA tournament in the first year of Oates. So still rocking and rolling with Alabama men's basketball. And then for the softball program under head coach Patrick Murphy, first softball game coming up in about 9 to 10 days. And this is a team that has a chance to get to the Women's College World Series and win it this year. You got all the pitching back with Sarah Cornell, Crystal Goodman, and of course, and the A's, Montana Fouts. As far as the bats are concerned, Alyssa Brown back, KB Sides back, Maddie Morgan back, Bailey Hemphill back, Kaylee Towle back, Skylar Wallace back. I can go on forever. Really like what this softball team is putting together. And after a strong season in 2019, greatness awaits this group in this season right here. So looking forward to seeing what softball has to offer. But those were your updates here in terms of Crimson Tide football and Alabama athletics. Don't touch that dial, folks. We're going to take a quick break, but upon our return, we continue with Alabama football and touching on the position group that will excite you, the one that's probably giving you some concern, and what could be the biggest surprise. Don't touch that dial. In my own words, we'll be back after this.